Hello everyone. If you are just now watching this, we are no longer live. If the little red dot is not up there, I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to log in or sign on. My name is Trevor Childs, and I'm one of the owners of Childs & Childs Luster Glitter Studio. And I posted in the group really late last night and today about the Unicorn Burst Tumbler, who, I'm trying to remember the lady's name. I think it was Lindsay. I can't remember her name. But she posted a really great tutorial on YouTube. Hi, Miss Joyce.
Hey.
This is my husband, Freddie. He's the other owner. Hi. Oh, I'm glad you just found out about us. But I'm trying to remember the lady's name. Sassy, Sipsy, I can't remember. I'll post the link to the tutorial or the name of the tutorial that I watched originally on how to do this. And it was really, really easy to do. And hi, Samantha. And it makes a really beautiful tumbler. I just epoxied this one. It's super, super gorgeous. And you can make it with all kinds of different glitters. But these are all Childs & Childs glitters. I said I'm not live. I told you I was going live, Miss Joyce, I thought. Or I put a post in this group that I was going live. But I'll name off the glitters that I used on this, and we're going to make another one from start to finish. It's a really quick process, and you only need a few things. You need a prepped tumbler that's painted white, and then you also need a microfine or really, really ultrafine glitter. The one I'm using today is by our company. It's called Vivacious. We really introduced it as a epoxy additive rather than a glitter. So it's really, really super fine. But I'm using that as the part that I put on the Tacket Method. So we're going to paint the tumbler. We're going to do the colored stripes in the middle. And then we're going to tack it. We're going to put this on with the Tacket Method. Then we're going to seal it and let it dry. And then we epoxy method. And we put a white glitter on the top and bottom. I'm not sure if you can see. It's really kind of hard to tell, but put a fine white glitter on the bottom and the top of the rim. So we're going to do that, and then in the middle you put the chunky. The chunky is Illumination from us, and the white glitter on the top and bottom are Euphoria. And the Euphoria is a really pretty like pearl white mix. Every glitter that we have is a mix. So this is a really small fine mix, got more than one size, and even this epoxy additive has more than one cut size in it. And that's kind of our specialty is mixes, and we invest in that because we think it gives you a better shine and a better end result. So you get really, really pretty cups with all of our glitters. And we try to change things that are different from a lot of other vendors just to set ourselves apart. So you'll see that with pretty much everything that we have is kind of unique and special to us. And I know there's a couple people here that are our customers already that can probably attest to that. But with that being said, we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to move this one to the side. And I'm going to pull my prepped tumbler over here. So this is a, hey Frederick. Move that over. This is a prepped 32 ounce plump or 32 ounce hydro fit. Actually, from the Steel Magnolias. I prepped it with Dixie Belle Slick Stick, and if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a really, really awesome product that we get from Southern Belle Glitter. It's a primer, a self-etching primer that you can put on, and you don't have to sand your cup. You can just paint it with that self-etching primer and go right to painting it. So it's been prepped and painted with white spray paint. I could have used acrylic paints, but I was just in a hurry, so I wanted to go ahead and get it spray painted and ready to do.
And another thing, guys, I know he talked about how he used Vivacious. Vivacious is not on the website.
It's new.
It's one of our brand new ones, but as soon as we get it up,
It's coming soon. I'll put that in the description, I think. So that will be coming out fairly soon. All right. So if you have, I don't know if anybody's working along with me. I put the stuff that you would need up earlier. You're basically going to need 3 colors of paint. These are just folk art acrylic paints. I typically use a lot of Dixie Belle paints, but I didn't really have the exact shades that I needed. So I'm just going to use these. These are really bright, but by the time you get done with your ombreing and the whole process with the Tacket Method, it's a little bit more toned down, like the finished cup that I just showed you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just start painting a couple of spots. I just got paint all over me already. Is Trevor Child. Go ahead and just... Gosh, scared me. He's playing the live on his phone and it's hooked up to the speaker and just scared the bejesus out of me.
sorry.
All right, so I've got my tumbler, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start painting it, and I kind of like to figure out what direction I'm going. I typically like for it to go this way, because when it's up, it will go like that, and if I put a name on it, I can do it. It really won't matter, but I'm going to do it that way. So you can do it whatever way you want to. Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone who's watching. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to try to keep up with comments as best I can. What was I thinking? Oh, I'm just going to go into painting. So I'm just going to add like a little dab of, I'm going to start with yellow. And last time I did this, I got about 2 of each color on there. And I'm just going to go in with a little brush and just start. And what I realized last time when I did this was try not to let your colors touch until you're ready to ombre them, because it kind of makes a little bit of a mess. And your colors will like blend on your paintbrush before you're ready, and then you're getting kind of like crazy colors throughout your cup where you're not quite ready for it to blend. And you are going to cover this up with glitter, so don't freak yourself out about how perfect it is, because it's not going to be perfect. And in the end, it's all going to get covered up anyway, so don't like obsess. If you're like me, sometimes I obsess a little too much about some things. So I'm getting close, but I don't want to like touch it. And you're also going to ombre the top and bottom with spray paint. So now I'm going to go back with yellow again. What kind of paint? This is just folk art paint. I think we got it from Michael's. So like folk art, just a regular acrylic paint. I think we got it as like a kit, actually.
Yeah, it was a set.
Like the bright set or something. So I'm going to go in with another spot of blue. And then my last little spot of pink. And don't wear your good clothes when you do this. If you're like me, I have like craft clothes. You're welcome. I think this is our first live in Tumbler Tutors. We're so busy with our business that sometimes it's hard for us to get as live as much as we want anymore. But it's one of my favorite things to do is teach. All right, so I'm going to start the ombreing process. And I kind of just like pick a brush for each one. So I'm just gonna do the yellow and pink with the yellow brush and just start to blend them together all the way up and down. And it should come together pretty easy, just like that, and give you a pretty orange right in the middle. So I'm gonna do that again on the other yellow and pink section. If y'all can't see something, just holler at me. Now I'm gonna pick the blue brush and I'm gonna go in the pink and blue section. And then that's gonna ombre into a pretty purple. And if you wanna go back and like make a certain section bigger or smaller, you totally can. Just by adding more paint. See, like that blue section's pretty big. So I can probably add just a dab of pink right there. And make it a little bigger. And that's going to give me a bigger purple area. I kind of lost my pink, but that's okay. So just keep ombreing till you get it the way you like it. And I'll kind of let that dry a bit, and then I'll go back and add a little bit more pink. So then I'm going to move on to, well, I forgot the other blue section. Do this one. Like I said, don't worry about it being perfect, because once you cover it with the different glitters, it totally looks different. All right. Now I'm gonna go in with the yellow. And get that yellow and blue. And when you ombre that, it should give you a greenish color. Nice choice, said 78 people. And do the same thing to the other little section. Don't make me nervous, Miss Joyce. And you're gonna kind of end up with something like this. And like I said, it does not have to be, hi Tabitha, does not have to be perfect. I want some more pink right there, so I think I'm gonna wipe a little bit of that purple off and try to get some more pink. Or I have a pink brush, but I think I need to take some of that purple off. So to do that, I'm just going to grab a little paper towel, if I can find one. And I'm going to wipe a little bit of that off because I want some more pink. I like the purple, but it kind of drowned out the pink. So I'll just wipe that off. I'm going to add a tiny little drop of pink. Oh, thank you guys. This is folk art paint. It's just a craft store paint from Michael's. It's nothing super fancy. I do typically love to use Dixie Belle paints, but I didn't have the right colors. Or I would have. Alright, so that's better. Got a little bit more pink in there. Still got some purple, but... Alright, so that's pretty much the result that I want. And it looks really bright right now, but I promise it's going to look a lot different in just a second. Now, the next part that I have to do, I can't show you guys on the camera because I have to go outside and spray paint it. But what I'm going to do is spray paint the top and the bottom and leave a section in the middle where it is ombre'd out. So be heavy paint here and lighten it up as you go, heavy paint here and lighten it up. Now the key to this is covering your edge, the bottom part and this part, really, really well with your spray paint. I mean, it even might be a good idea, the more I do these, to take the paint farther up because it's kind of hard to cover that drastic change in color right there with your spray paint without making it run. So you might need to do a couple of coats in order to get good coverage right there so that you can't see the difference. I'm gonna go put a coat on really quick and I'll bring it back and hopefully I'll be able to show you that before I add the second layer. And then after the paint dries, which it dries pretty quick, we will put the Tacket on there and put the Vivacious, which is the epoxy additive that we have. That's a new release. But you could use any ultrafine. We have several that you could use instead of Vivacious, but I wanted to use it because it's really pretty. But I'm going to go spray paint this, and I will be right back. Freddie, you want to come talk to him really quick? I'm going to get Freddie to come talk to y'all and show you the finished cup for those who are watching that didn't get to see it before.
Okay. Alright, so meanwhile that he is out, I will show you guys the finished product. We worked on this yesterday, so just like how he said, we are working on the release of Vivacious, which is the one that he's going to use with Tacket Method, and it should be coming out later tonight or possibly tomorrow morning, depending on how fast we can get everything launched into the system. It's just sometimes a little bit hard because it just takes lots of time. Alright, so he did the Vivacious as the whole tumbler. Then we switched up from Vivacious to, let me grab them quick, Euphoria and Illumination, which is the other glitters that we used on this tumbler. So we'll show you that process here. And always, it's sometimes can be a little bit tricky getting the bottom side, but making sure that it's covered is always key. How did it turn out?
Good. It's going to need one more coat, but I want to show them more.
Alright, scoot this over.
Alright, so when you get it spray painted, I hope it shows on the camera like it does in real life. In a couple of spots, you can still see the ends of our paint, which is totally fine. It's going to get covered anyways, but it's going to get covered by white and opal glitter. So you want to try to minimize that as much as possible without being able to see it, because you might be able to see it underneath your epoxy. So we're going to let this dry for just a little bit till that paint's tacky and I can add another layer, because I don't want to add too much right now because it will run. So I'm going to put this on the turner and let it spin. And I'm going to let you guys ask some questions. So do y'all have any questions on tumbler making, resin, epoxy tips, glitter tips, whatever you can ask while we let that dry? I'm going to tilt the camera back up. You can ask questions about like what we have, whatever y'all want to ask. We also, I don't know if, I think I posted in here, I can't remember. I need to ask Deanna. But we have a Tumbler Expo coming up the end of the year in September 30th through October 3rd in New Orleans, called Childs & Childs Family Reunion. We are going to be there. Steel Magnolia Company is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of different vendors there and sponsors. It's going to be a 3-day event. It's going to be 3 day or 4 day? 4 day, 3 nights. 4 days, 3 nights, I think. Yeah. It's going to be super, super awesome. We're going to teach you all kinds of different methods with making tumbler and resin art. We're also going to teach you a lot of business and marketing techniques that can help you grow your business and increase your profits and revenues, different things like that. It's going to be really, really awesome. Jill, our company name is Childs & Childs. Childs & Childs Luster Glitter Studio. Spray painting intimidates you. Spray painting intimidates me as well. I actually typically don't like to use spray paints, but in this case of this tumbler, I kind of have to. I really, really love using Dixie Belle paints to prep and paint the tumbler. So we use Dixie Belle Slick Stick to prep the tumbler, and we also use Dixie Belle paints to actually paint them. I have some over here that I'll show you guys. And it also eliminates the need for you to go outside and paint like I just had to. This is Fluff from Dixie Belle Paint. It's just a white, it's a really pretty off-white chalk paint. And they dry fast. They're so pigmented and gorgeous. I have some more. This one is called Mermaid Tail. Really pretty. But they go really far. They're expensive, but they go very, very far, and the quality is top-notch. We love using them rather than spray paint. So anything that I can not use spray paint for, I typically do. For clear coat, I like triple thick. It just works better for me. Do we ship to Australia? We do ship to Australia. Katie, our website is childsanchilds.co. What do you think about using an airbrush gun? Would you be able to control it? You probably could, but I think those require like special paints that can be kind of expensive. There used to be a guy who did videos. I can't remember where he did them or what group, but he used to do airbrush tumblers, and they're really, really cool, but very detailed. I'm kind of more of a throw it on there and hope it looks good kind of person. I've only done 2 really, really detailed cups ever before, and it was I did a nutcracker cup for a friend because she's obsessed with nutcrackers, and I made it for her only. Never sold one, even though we got lots of requests to do so. And then I made a buffalo plaid for a cup swap before Christmas, and that was the first and last buffalo plaid I'll do. I'm just too OCD, and if it's not perfect, it drives me a little bit nuts, and I I can't do it. It makes me crazy. So I love the ones that are more artistic and just different. Like, I really love doing marble cups. I think that's a marble cup we did. And I like doing vinyls. I don't like doing it, but I'm really a perfectionist at it. I love doing offset vinyls. It's kind of my favorite. I think it sends the cup over the top. How do I do the bottom? Like glitter it or epoxy it? I just cover it. I don't tape off cups. I've never had a request to tape one off. If I had a customer who wanted me to tape one off, I would. But I personally don't like the way that it looks, so I've never done it.
We haven't done cups in a long time.
Yeah, and we really don't sell cups anymore because of the glitter business. We're just too busy to do it, but I've never taped off the top and bottom. So I just paint it like normal and epoxy it and glitter it just like normal. My favorite epoxy is Counterculture DIY. I really love the regular artist resin because it's thick. I like a thick epoxy, especially working with chunky glitters and things like that. It gives me really, really good coverage. And it's my favorite. They also have a product called Medium Viscosity, which is a little bit more thin. And it gives you really, my battery's 20%. It gives you really good coverage too, but it's just a little bit more thinner. So it's good for like a top coat if you don't want to make your cup too thick. What colors did you use for that marble cup? Oh gosh, we made that cup like 6 months ago. I can't even hardly tell you. I know of our glitters that has Echelon.
I did that cup.
I know, Freddie made this cup. It's got Echelon, it has Halcyon in it, which is coming soon again.
It has Opulence, it has Rio, it has not Celestial, Aurora, it has Aura.
It's got all kinds.
And Echelon, yeah.
Oh, Fast Set. How could I forget Fast Set? I love Counterculture Fast Set. It's amazing. If you can get over the smell, it's awesome. It's like, it'll blow your mind how fast it cures. When they first came out with it and we used it, we were like, is this real life? How is that even possible? What were the colors you used for the unicorn cup? The ultrafine, or the microfine epoxy additive is Vivacious, which, will you go grab me a new one? We're probably going to release that either late tonight or tomorrow. It's a new release. And the chunky is,
You have it right there.
I don't have a name on it. It looks like this. It comes in a little container. It's a microfine. That's what we used on the Tacket Method part of it. And I really didn't design it to be used that way, but I wanted to try it, and it looks good. The chunky glitter is Illumination, and then there's a white on the top and bottom. That's Euphoria. Hi, Dana. All right, I think my spray paint's dry enough. I can go add another layer really quick. That way we can get on to putting the Tacket Method on there. And I'm not a pro at Tacket Method. The one that I just epoxied, that's the first cup I've ever done the Tacket Method on. So don't judge me if it doesn't work out just right. But that's what it looks like right now. I don't know if you can see, but you can still kind of see the ends of right there. Can you see that? You can still kind of see the end of it. I'm going to go add one more layer of spray paint and try to smooth that out a bit so you can't really see it. Hi, Miss Janice. How are you? You're in all the groups, Miss Janice. I'm so excited that you're coming to our expo this fall, Miss Janice. Did you mix your tacket with water? No, I didn't. I'll explain that really quick when I come back. Okay. Sorry about that. I do want to show one thing. If you get paint into your other spot, don't worry about it because you really want it to be subtle unless you're trying to go for like a really bright color underneath it. So don't freak out if you get your spray paint on it. You actually kind of want that a little bit, and that will give you a better... It looks really soft. That, to me, that's what's really pretty about this cup when you get done with it, is it's really, really a soft, beautiful color. Sorry, we're printing labels for glitter. But it's really pretty. And this is what it looks like before we add any glitter. When I did this one, I realized that the bottom was a little bit off, so I made sure to try to get this one a little bit more perfectly even. So I'm going to put this on the turner and let it dry. Hopefully it will dry quickly. And then we can move on to the next step, which it has to be dry. Somebody asked me before I went outside to paint that if I watered down my Tacket, and the answer is no. Hi, Brianna, and I'll tell you why. I have watched a bunch of tutorials on it, and it's about a 50-50 ratio to people who water it down and people who don't. And the person who made the original tutorial on this tumbler design, I think it's Sipsy Boutique. That's what's in my head. And I should have wrote it down before I went live, but I forgot. So I apologize, but I did not create this design. Somebody else did. And it just, I wanted to make one. But she had a really, really good detailed tutorial, and I followed it to the T. And when she did her Tacket method, she explained that she just puts it straight on there, and she really only has to do one layer of it, and she hits it with a heat gun and puts the glitter on top. And it did a great job, and that's what I did, and it worked. So I did not water it down. I did try I tried it on another cup that I made with the 1-to-1 water ratio, and it didn't work as good. So that's what I was going to say. She said something about she probably goes through more Tacket, but every tutorial I've seen where they water it down, they have to do at least 2 or 3 layers. So you're probably using the same amount of the Tacket in the end anyways. And it didn't make sense to me to water it down if I was just going to have to do it 2 to 3 times. Hi, Jessica. I'm really excited too, Miss Janice. It's going to be really fun. I think we might make this cup there if it's still all the rage, but it's going to be right before Christmas, so we might do some Christmas stuff. I haven't really decided yet. A lot of the other teachers are going to be teaching whatever they want, and Freddie and I are going to teach something, but it's going to be fun. Any questions on anything while we let this paint dry? It's really thick, Monique, and I used a pretty wide brush when, speaking of that, I need to put these in water before they dry up. I used a really wide brush when I did it, and I'll probably use that again in a little bit when I put it on there. Jessica, I'm making a unicorn burst tumbler. I've got one epoxied that I'll show you in just a sec, and we just painted, and I'm waiting on the paint to dry, and we're going to do the Tacket method. And then after that, I'm going to seal it with some triple thick, and then we're going to put epoxy on it, and we're going to put the chunky glitter and the fine glitter on. So we're going to get basically all the way done with it other than epoxy on top of the glitter, which you can do if you're using Fafsa to lay your glitter. You could do that 2 or 3 hours later. What's the difference between a white bottle and brown one? What are you talking about, Miss Melody? Hi, Angelica from Houston. Fred and I used to live in Houston, and I miss Houston. We might move back to Texas in a couple of years.
Don't think so.
We haven't made our mind up, especially after everything that happened with everyone's power companies and stuff over there. I hope you're staying warm and doing all right. Is it done with pastel colors? I did not use pastel colors to paint it. It will become pastel after you put all the glitter on top, basically. So if you start with pastels, it's going to be really, really light colored. The Tacket is a white bottle. Tack it over and over. Has to be the over and over one, not the Tacket glue. Tack it over and over. For a while, it was really hard to find in the stores because so many people were buying it. But it's, can I pin my website? Is Deanna still here? I don't want to break any rules. If there's a moderator or an admin in here, I'll be happy to if they'll let me. I just don't want to break any rules. So, let me see what they say, Miss Jackie.
Oh, aren't we having a sales
Soon
too?
Yeah. But hi, Lori. We're still creating. We're just waiting on paint to dry. It's literally kind of boring. We have a completed one here with epoxy on it, and then we have one that's just painted. So, okay, Jessica said I can put the. Let me type it in there if I can get to the comments. There we go.
That way it makes it easier for everybody.
And we do have a lot of stuff out of stock. Our supplier has been on
New Year's vacation.
Chinese New Year's.
Yeah.
And they're just getting back, and our shipment is about to go on the water. We have a huge container coming of glitter.
So.
All right, I pinned it, so y'all can go there. That's our website. It has all of our glitters on there, except for Vivacious. Vivacious is getting released. Are we doing that tonight or tomorrow?
It'll take me a little while to photograph every single thing that needs to be.
We've got it in stock. We just have to get it photographed and watermarked and put on the website, which takes a whole lot of effort. I made a half black, half red glitter cup. After epoxy, the black is not very sparkly. How can I fix that? Carrie, a lot of black glitters do that unless it's like a holographic glitter. The best way to fix that most of the time is by adding a little bit of a silver holographic to it or an opal to it that might give it some sparkle. It's just kind of one of those things that happens to a lot of black glitters. We have a couple of black glitters that are holographic, but they have a rainbow throw to them on the website, but they're really, really pretty under epoxy. I think I have...
Which one?
No, I used Issa on it. I was thinking about the leopard cup over there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have any with Noir? No.
Uh-uh.
It's called Noir, but it has a rainbow throw to it, and it's really pretty, but it's not a black. But you could add, we have an epoxy additive called Radiance that's a really, really tiny silver microfine that you could throw into a black and it would be pretty. Or you could put Vivacious when we release that, or any silver, really, just to give it a little bit of sparkle under epoxy. Or you could put an epoxy additive over it, and it would go over your whole cup and give your whole cup sparkle, which is really, really pretty when you do that. Should I put the fan on it? Or put it in front of the heater for a second? Like I did yesterday? Because it's still wet. What do you think? Or just keep letting it spin?
Yeah.
I hope I'm not boring y'all while this dries. I wish I had one pre-done. That way we wouldn't have to wait, but I didn't have time. And I wanted to get on before it was late. But I love answering questions, so if y'all have questions, ask away. Scribble is one of your favorite. Scribble is pretty. I think either Scribble or Issa, one of them kind of holds their sparkle under epoxy better than the other. But their black glitter is, it's kind of weird. For it to sparkle, it can't be black unless it's holographic, like Noir or what's the fine version of Noir.
Dark Star.
Dark Star. That's the fine version of it. And we also have a chunky version called Nightmare. Have you done a Crackle Cup? The one with glue. I have done a Crackle Cup, but I did not use glue. I used a Crackle Medium from Dixie Paints.
What?
I have done a Crackle Cup. And they're kind of tricky, but they're a lot of fun. Those are the kind of cups that I really enjoy doing. Oh, there it is. This is a Crackle Cup. But I use Dixie Paints Crackle Medium. And the cracks are really kind of small. You can probably see it better in person, but then I did a glitter swirl on top. There's a big crack right there. You can see good. Do we have a YouTube? Yes, we do have a YouTube. I don't upload to it as much as I used to. Well, used to. We started our YouTube with the Faith Cup, which was what we were most popular for. And it took off, and we uploaded a tutorial, and people were making Faith Cups left and right. And then when COVID happened, we started our glitter business because we had a lot of extra free time. And I kept saying we were going to do more YouTube tutorials, but I can never find the time to sit down and edit videos because I'm not the one to just like throw up a video. I want it to be edited and nice and informational. Any tips for making one? It is... The hardest part of making a Crackle Cup is putting the paint on top of the Crackle Medium. It's tricky because when you make your swipe with the paintbrush, you can't back brush it or it won't crackle correctly. So you have to start at the top and take your brush stroke all the way down and not touch it again. So that's the trickiest part, and I would suggest practicing on a couple of things, maybe not a tumbler or maybe an old tumbler that's not good anymore, and getting the hang of it before you go into actually doing it for a cup that you have an order for. Frederick, Crackle Medium is, it's like a paint. I don't know if it's in here. It's basically like clear paint. Oh yeah, it is. It's right here. I don't want to touch that epoxy. It's kind of like a clear coat. It's clear liquid. And it's called Crackle. It says, easily create old and a weathered look. So when you put it on, you let it dry, and it's really slick. So when you put paint on top of it, it just cracks. It doesn't like to stick to it very well, so it just makes all these cracks in it. But this is from Dixie Paints. That's what we use to do them. This little tub is $15, $14.95. But it's super awesome. Works great. Gracie Lou Freebush is watching. That's hilarious. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. My favorite cup to make when I have the time. I don't know what Freddy's is, but mine is, I really like making leopard cups, believe it or not, because they're really relaxing to paint on the leopard spots. I did one not too long ago that was a leopard cup, and it has Disney or Mickey shaped little leopard spots. What's your favorite cup to make in your free time? Oh, I know what his is.
What?
Swirls.
Yeah, I'm the other one.
Freddie loves to make swirls, like this little rainbow swirl right here behind me. He is amazing at doing swirls.
Oh, and
Oh,
not that one, but like that.
this is a watermelon cup that he did. That's really pretty.
Oh, where's Suzanne?
He's good at doing stuff like that. I also love doing marble swirls.
Oh, Suzanne is. Well, we have.
Oh, we have one that's almost done. It needs the last coat of epoxy. I love Sandra Bullock too. Gracie Lee Freebush.
Like this.
There's one that's got epoxy on it. And we'll probably do a tutorial on that when we get
so
closer
it's almost
to summer.
finished. And the name's within the
Seeds.
seeds. So
the paint's almost dry, guys. Somebody asked a question. Prep, Crackle Medium paint. No. Prep, well, if you're including your base coat of paint in your prep. So whatever color you want to crackle through, like your cracks to be, you need to paint before your Crackle Medium. So if you want like that one that I just had, I painted purple, and then we put the Crackle Medium on top of the purple, and then a white paint on top. So the purple shows through, but it's predominantly the white. So you have to, you put your whatever color you want first, and then your white, or whatever color. You don't have to do white. You could do a color bottom and then put black on top and have the color show through. You can do whatever colors you want. But the color that you put on top of the Crackle Medium is going to be the predominant color, and the cracks will come through that. I hope that makes sense. That sounds so convoluted coming out of my mouth. Another tip that I could give you guys, and that it really changed the game. Hi, Brittany. It changed the game for us a lot because like I was telling you earlier, I personally really love the decals when we get done with cups, and that's like my pet peeve, is making the decals really pretty. If you are using a holographic or a adhesive foil, I couldn't think of the word, holographic or adhesive foil, you've probably noticed no matter how good you push them down, how well you put it on the cup, they bubble and they warp after you you made me lose my train of thought. After you put epoxy on it, they tend to like bubble up or warp. The best thing you can do to prevent that, there's two things. You can cover it in Quick Coat from Counterculture, which is freaking amazing. It's expensive though. This bottle is like, I think this bottle, the 4-ounce bottle is like $15, but it lasts forever, and it makes your vinyls flawless every single time. You can also use polyacrylic. It works really good, but not as good as this. So Quick Coat from Counterculture, it's just a it's a urethane sealer, and you brush it on with a paintbrush and you let it dry, then you put your epoxy on, and you'll never have warped vinyls ever again. It's a total godsend when you're working with vinyls, especially metallic vinyls like metal vinyls or holographic. We love, like this is a metallic vinyl on this cup.
Monique said, where are we located?
Oh, I'm sorry, Monique, I didn't see your comment. We are located in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. So we're on the Mississippi coast. But the Quick Coat definitely will save your life on your vinyls. Only use epoxy and take so long to make one cup. Would Quick Coat help, or is there something else? No, Quick Coat is not an epoxy. It's just a sealer. What would be better for you if you're worried about your time and how long it takes to make your cups is invest in Fafsa epoxy. There are a couple of companies that make it, but we use pretty much nothing but Counterculture. We used KS Resin before, and they're great too, but we just I love the people at Counterculture. They are an amazing company. They have amazing customer service. They are a faith-based business, which I really love because we are as well. And they give back to their customers a lot, and we love to do that too. So our values just are right in line with them, and we love them. So I recommend them all the time. And they have a fast set epoxy which cures in 2 hours. So if you haven't tried, you already use Counterculture, so that's good. Try their fast set if you haven't already. It's awesome. It does have a little, like their other epoxy has no odor to me at all. Fast set, I'm used to it now, but when you first start, you might notice a little bit of a stronger odor. Can you use the fast set as a final coat? You technically can if you want to, but it has an odor, so you might smell it. It's not like a stinky odor. It's kind of just like chemically. But it dries in 2 hours. So you can do all your layers of your cup, and it dries in 2 hours, and then you can put, you know, a thin coat of medium viscosity on the top of it, and it'll be dry the next day. And you need to wait 3 days for it to cure, no matter what epoxy anyways. Monique's from upstate New York. Can you use Fafsa as final cut or answer that? Do we do pins?
Yay.
Freddie wants to do pins so bad, and he has started some.
Okay, I'll show you guys what I have started. Now that one's a bad example because that one
Messed it up.
But, yeah.
He's played with some pins.
These are going to be like the color coordinated ones. So, I did an Ombre Effect. And it's just our crystal collection mixed with divination. So, it's really, really pretty. This is just the first coat that I have on them. So, what? Oh, you have to put the X-Acto knife under in between. Like it's a lot of work and I'm not good at it. But my assistant principal.
Yeah, it just so happens the assistant principal that works with Freddie at his school is the original concept creator of the pins. So she is the OG of the pins.
And she will be at the expo.
Yeah, she's going to be at our expo teaching how to make pins this fall. It's going to be really fun. Oh, thank you, Jessica. We have tons of stuff. And a lot of stuff on the way to be back in stock and new stuff coming soon. Brittany said she can't find the pins anywhere. They are hard to find right now.
Oh, let me show them what we...
Because Freddie's buying them all. He's got a whole tote of inkjoy pins.
Yeah, whole tote. These are all for the expo, but I have 300 more coming on the way for the expo. So,
and we have 15,000 baby wipes for the expo, individual wipes, not packages. If you coat the pencil with Vaseline, yep. If you put Vaseline on the inside, it won't stick.
That's true.
We didn't do that. What did he use to stick the glitter with? Epoxy.
Yes, and you have to, same thing as the cups, you have to use really, really thin.
Yeah, thin layer. And
And brush it on. No.
Merrily, you can get them on Amazon, but just be careful because they're price gouging.
Oh, yes.
They're like $10 more on Amazon than if you go get them at the store.
I'll have to check Target right now. And
Target has them. That's where, Target.com.
They had them this morning, so they had some packages available to ship this morning. And it
Target
was
at
like
Target.com.
for a 22-pack. So check there before they sell out.
Somebody ask a question. Oh, no. We always use the epoxy method unless we are doing leopard print, and then I'll do Mod Podge. Or the Faith Cup, I'll use Mod Podge, but that's about it. I despise Mod Podge.
Pins are expensive. Yes, they are.
They are expensive, but when you get those pins done, you can sell a pin for $16. I've seen people sell pins for almost $20, especially if they have a lot of detail like leopard print or different things. And the reason why you can sell them for that is you can actually get refills for it, and they can keep that pin forever.
Yeah, which makes it so nice.
But if you're like me, I lose pins quicker than I can buy them. So,
especially as a teacher.
hard time with glitter vinyl to stay glittery when you epoxy over it and then glitter goes away. Seal it before, thank you. Seal it before you epoxy over it. I don't know what kind of glitter vinyl you're using. When we first started making tumblers, this has been well over 2 years ago. We used Cricut glitter vinyl, and it was, it bled. So you had to seal it. If you didn't seal it, it would bleed all over your whole cup. But I would recommend sealing it. I know they changed their glitter vinyl, and I haven't used it since then. Fabric pins, let's see, I don't have the time.
I've seen people do wraps too, like vinyl wraps on them.
Talia, don't limit yourself for your clientele. You can sell to anybody in the whole world. Get an Etsy shop. That's what we started with. We started with Etsy, and you do have to pay fees when you sell, but like to create an Etsy shop is free. You only have to pay a fee when you sell something. So if you get on Etsy and you do it right, you can sell to people all over the world. And make people see the value. They don't set your prices. You set the prices. Their budget does not set your prices. So you can do it. You can find the right clientele. I promise you. We live in a little bitty coastal town in South Mississippi, and when we sold tumblers, and we still do sell them very seldomly to very specific people when they ask us if they're close friends or family, we sell like a 30-ounce cup from us is $70, and we take forever on it, and they know it. They tell us, I want a cup. Okay, it's this price, and they just wait for us to give it to them, unless it's a rush, but they know to get with us way ahead of time.
If they wanted like a real Yeti, that was like $130.
Yeah, a real Yeti is over $100. Like $130 was our price for an authentic Yeti, because that's a $35 cup. If I'm gonna spend, if anybody is gonna spend the time that it takes to do these, by the time you're done with your glitter and all your expenses, your electricity from running your turners, your spray paint, your glitter, everything, the minimum you have invested at a cup is like $20-$30, and that's a regular cup. So to sell it for only $40, you're only making like $10 or $15. But you have to be really good to sell a cup for $70. If you sell a crappy cup for $70, you're gonna have mad customers. But if you sell a perfect cup that's perfection, and it's flawless, there's no bumps, your edges are clean, and things like that, you give them a $70 cup, they'll come buy another one. I promise you.
We had multiple customers come back.
So don't be scared. You're selling them for $35. If that's working for you, then go ahead. Do what works for you, because everybody's situation is different.
Yeah, and if you're starting off, that's good. Like,
But know your numbers. Your numbers are the most important thing. Know what your cost on your cup is, and all your materials and your time. And then figure out how much time you spent on that cup and divide it by your profit, and that's how much you made per hour on that cup. And most of the time it's really low, even if you're selling them for higher prices. But I want people to succeed, because I don't want them to get burnt out and only be turning money or losing money and then quit making tumblers altogether. That's heartbreaking when people get so burnt out and they just quit because they're not making any money and things like that.
We've
So
done that.
people say $35 is high. I get you an Etsy. If you're making really high quality cups, get an Etsy. That's what Freddie and I did. We sold on Etsy, and we sold more cups on Etsy than we did locally for a long time, until people locally saw the quality cups that we had, and then they started paying for them. But I would really recommend you to get on Etsy and try to sell outside of your area, because I promise you, people are paying $70+ for cups everywhere.
Oh, yes.
People are addicted to these cups, just like all of us are addicted to glitter. People who buy these cups are addicted to the cups. So they will buy them over and over again. Most of our customers are repeat customers, and they buy them for vacations. They buy them as gifts. They buy them for all kinds of reasons. And if you think about it, $70 for a gift, like a nice gift, a personalized gift, is nothing. You know, you can't buy a good blouse or a jacket or a good pair of shoes for $70 for somebody. And when you do that, there's a chance they might not even like it. But you buy them a custom-made tumbler that they're going to be able to have for years to come for $70. When you think about it, the value is actually really, really good. Hi, Veronica. I'm glad you're getting into it. It is a lot of fun, and it's actually really therapeutic for a lot of people like me. And there's tons of possibilities. You're welcome, Talia. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and ask questions, or to Freddie. We're always super happy to help. And I'm just big on people getting what they're worth. And I know you're worth it. Everybody's worth it. So you got this. Don't worry about it. Hi, Shauna. Everybody can sell a cup for $70 if they practice and they make good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If you're selling subpar stuff, though, don't sell it for $70.
And if somebody doesn't want to pay your price, don't worry. That's okay. There's going to be plenty of people coming around anyway, so.
Yep. Out. Like I said, don't let people's budget control your price. If you walk into the Louis Vuitton store and you say, I want a purse, but I'm only going to pay $35 for that purse, they're going to laugh you out of the store. So don't let people control your price. And don't be afraid to say no. When they're like, oh, that's too much. Can you do it for $30? Nope, I can't. I don't. With my time and all of the materials, I can't do it. See, a lot of people sell it for that, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're doing them for those prices and you're making money and you have a process, then go about it. Do what works for you. But there are people out there paying $70+ for tumblers. I promise you. Every day of the week. Uh-oh. Let me get my jacket on.
And another tip, take as many orders as you know that you can do and take at that moment.
Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself with too many orders. If you can only work on 5 tumblers at a time, only take 5 orders. Don't take 35 orders and get backed up and then overwhelm yourself. And people get mad at you.
Yeah, not worth it.
Do you have the phone charger out here?
No, I don't.
Can you go grab it? I have less than 10%.
Don't you have that one right there?
It's not plugged into anything. I need a brick.
That's a computer. I think you can just connect it to a laptop.
Ugh. Will it reach?
Just make sure you leave the label on connection. Not the shipping label, but the main label.
I'm gonna move it over here.
Tier 1 is a 4 and
5,
1.
4, 1. Yeah.
4 1.
All right, sorry guys. I don't want to die. Here, will you take this? Gotta plug my phone in. This laptop battery up. 76, we're good. All right, we're about ready to do the Tacket Method and then move on. So we're moving along. I'm so glad you guys stayed with us. What's a good estimate to give somebody for a tumbler order? It depends on what you're doing. So, are you talking about time-wise or price-wise, Dawn?
Let me ask, what is our bestseller for us for a long time was the Faith.
The what?
Our Faith, our original concept Faith.
Oh, I have one right there. The gold one. Oh, back there.
It's back there.
Is this a full-time job for you? We don't actually make cups. We sell glitter. But we make cups for tutorials and for fun. And we sell them like ready to ship tumblers. Somebody said that about Mother's Day cups. That's when you get really good and you're selling tons of cups, you can eventually switch your business to very, very little custom orders and just do ready to ship cups. You can say, hey, this cup is done. It's for $65, $70. I can personalize it and put your name on it and put a top coat and send it out. That's pretty much what we do now when we make cups. Because like I said, we only really do this to do tutorials and things like this. 2 to 3 weeks is probably what I would say the minimum for time-wise. And I'll tell you what, you can make a cup in a few days. But here's the thing. You're going to have things go wrong. And it might be epoxy. It might be paint. It could be your glitter didn't turn out right. There's a million things. You could get a bug land in it, or your turner stop in the middle of the night, and your epoxy get, Freddie used to call them nipples on the cup, and you have to sand them off. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So you want to leave yourself a buffer of time. That way, when the cup's done early, you have a really excited customer, rather than when your cup's late, you have people that are mad. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks at the minimum. When we gave lead times, we gave 6 to 8 weeks because we took a long time on cups. Because, like I said, we don't send out anything if it has a single bump on it. A single bump or dimple, or the edge is not perfectly smooth. It didn't go out.
Or you can feel the glitter.
Yeah. I mean, you should not be able to feel the glitter underneath your epoxy. You should not be able to feel or see, or you can see it, but should not be able to feel the vinyl under your epoxy. You should be sending out pretty close to perfection, especially if you were charging the prices that we charged. But find out what's comfortable for you. If you can make a cup in a week, I would say 2 to 3 weeks. That way, because after your final layer of epoxy, you should let that cup sit for a minimum of 72 hours before you ship it. And when you ship it, another really big tip, please don't ever ship a cup in this box that it comes in. This box is not meant to withstand weight, and everybody should know how the Postal Service or FedEx, UPS, whoever you're shipping it through, whoever they, I cut myself. Oops. Whoever is shipping it, it's gonna get crushed Like, and that's no effort to do that. So don't ship your cups in these. It's a good idea to put them in this with the bubble wrap and then put it in a whole nother box. Don't put it in a flat rate envelope or the bubble mailers. Will still get crushed and ruined. So spend the money on the shipping. It's usually around $9 to $10 or $12 if you're shipping really far away. If you get the regional rate boxes, a regional rate A box will ship one 20 to 30 ounce tumbler, and a regional rate B box will ship 2. And they're free. You can order them off the post office website and they're completely free, and you have to pay priority mail. But it's like $9 to $12 shipping, and it's the best way to ship. Make sure your package is full of tissue paper or bubble wrap. You should not be able to hear anything moving around when you ship it. Do we require a deposit? When we sold cups, we 100% up front. No deposit. 100% up front.
A lot of questions always come through of like, what is the best glitter to use versus craft glitter?
Yeah, a lot of people ask about craft glitter versus boutique glitter, like what we sell. Typically, where do you order them? You can order them from the post office. So go to the USPS.com and go to shipping supplies, and it's the regional rate A and regional rate B boxes. Do we have any? We can show them. We should. But they're free. You can order like a case of 100 for free.
I have an A, I don't have a B.
This is what they look like. This is the A box. We still use them to ship glitter. So this is a regional rate A box. This will ship a 20 ounce tumbler or a 30 ounce. And they just fold. Like that. And that's about the thickness of it and the width. And they're free. And they ship priority. And just fill it up with tissue paper or bubble wrap. Alright, I think we're ready to go for the Tacket Method. I've bored y'all long enough. I hope I'm helping you guys, though, by answering questions at least. I need some more paper. Alright, so I'm just going to paint. Make sure we're dry, we're good. I'm going to paint the Tacket Method on here. Oh my gosh, this is Louie. Get down. I got the boxes at Walmart for 56 cents, and they're a perfect size for one tumbler. That's good. See, that works fine if you want to do that. But see, me, I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to spend 56 cents on a box. Especially like with us, we have to buy like our flamingo boxes and stuff. We get those from U-Pack and ship, but I don't like spending money on it when I know I can get it for free. Oh, thank you, Leanne, for keeping me on track. What's the difference between craft glitter and like boutique glitter? So our glitter is polyester, and most companies that sell glitter, like any tumbler glitter supplier, most of them at least, sell polyester glitter. And it's a super fine film that is cut up into the shape or the mix. And it is usually, depending on what glitter it is, solvent resistant and heat resistant, and it does not fade. Polyester, I mean not polyester, but craft glitter is just plastic, PET glitter, and it can fade. It doesn't sparkle as much under epoxy, and it's just not as good. There's a lot of different reasons why. You can, if you spread up the glitter on the floor, polyester glitter will go like 100 times further than a craft glitter does.
And we used to use it a lot.
Yeah, we used to have tons of it when we first started because it's economical and there's nothing wrong with it. But once you master your craft, you can't get glitters that look like ours from Michael's. You just can't. Even the Martha Stewart stuff that's really pretty, it's not as pretty as what we sell or other people sell.
That's also the main reason why we did $70 cups, $130 cups.
Yeah, we use expensive glitter. And we use nothing but the best epoxies. We use the best everything. We use the best tumblers. We use Steel Magnolia tumblers.
Yeah, we try not to cut corners when it came to customers.
Hi, Sierra. Especially when it's polyester, it's everywhere. Glitter, no matter what kind, will get everywhere, I promise. But if you're buying your glitter online from like small shops like ours or any of the other ones, it's probably polyester glitter. But a lot of different companies, depending on who they are, they buy from different level manufacturers. So even in our little small business world, they're not all the same quality. And like with us, we invest a lot in our mixes. So everything that we have is a mix, and we have to pay a lot more to have those mixes made.
And for us, sometimes we don't even make money on some, and we do on some. So. But another thing too is also check to make sure when you do place from a small business or wherever you get your glitter, the how much you're getting.
Yeah, make sure you're buying. You can buy by volume, but you get more bang for your buck when you buy by weight. And we sell all of our glitter by weight, not by volume. People told me to water down the tack. We talked about that earlier. You can water it down, but when you water it down, you have to do multiple coats, so it's the same. And the tutorial that I watched learn how to make this cup, she did not water it down, so I just followed her lead. And it dries pretty quick, but I want to make sure I have a really good thin layer, even, no ripples in it anywhere. I'm just saying, I want to make sure it's really good and even. I'm kind of new to Tacket myself, but I did try it watered down, and I didn't like it as much as it worked not watered down. And the tutorial I watched on this cup was really, it was very detailed, but it was an easy tutorial. So, I liked it a lot. Will you plug the heater in?
You're cold?
No, I'm gonna dry it off in front of the heater.
Oh. Well, yeah, just give me a sec.
Right, so I got a thin layer over the whole thing. Oh, Vanessa Davis is here. Now I'm gonna be nervous.
Oh, we love her.
Hi, Vanessa. My finger's bleeding.
Hope you're doing good.
What is the difference between Tacket and Mod Podge? Tacket is, I really don't know the exact answer to that, but except for the different uses on cups. Mod Podge is an adhesive, like to glue things down. I don't really know about Tacket, but I don't think it is. And we use Counterculture Epoxy. Vanessa, don't be nervous. That's kind of hard with you, ma'am. If anybody doesn't know, Vanessa Davis is an amazing tumbler maker, and she's one of our clients. I'm going to, since Freddie did it, are you going to plug it in really quick?
Yeah.
The extension cord. Did you plug it back in?
Oh, first.
Did you plug it
Can't
back
you just put it in the other, front of the other heater?
It's not plugged in either. I don't think. I'll try. Oh, yeah, it is. So I'm going to dry this off in front of the heater really quick.
Just because I have the other one for the photo.
And then we'll put the glitter on top. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it.
Oh,
It's going to flip the switch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it will.
How? When I don't have the other heater up.
It doesn't matter. he's gonna do it his way. How cold is it there? It is about,
Today was actually a nice day.
it was nice today, but I think it's like in the 40s outside right now. Or 50s, maybe. See, if you had plugged in the other one, I'd be done by now.
I know, but I'm using the other one.
It literally only take me 1 minute. You can plug your thing. I hope everybody, wherever you are, you're staying warm. I must have cut myself on that exactly.
Good. Oh,
Got
yeah.
blood everywhere.
You should show them that sunset.
Where's it at?
Mm-hmm.
In the teens. 65 and sunny. Ariel, where are you? Florida? I bet you it's Florida. This is a Sunset Beach tumbler we did.
It's really pretty.
I did a offset sand dollar. 20s in Virginia. No, thank you. 74 in Phoenix. Oh, California. I was close. California and Florida. They're not close, but they're both always hot. And again, that's that metallic, the metal vinyl that warps. If you use that quick coat, it doesn't warp. In Texas, no power since Monday. Oh, I'm sorry, Monica. I hope you get power back soon. But make sure your electricity provider's not ripping you off. I saw that on the news. What glitters are those on the beach? Those are, is that Crystal Collection?
Yeah,
that's the Crystal Collection, Vanessa.
Is that Vanessa Davis?
Uh-huh. And the bottom one is Echelon.
I think she bought that, actually.
I think you probably have these. But the key to this is it's painted. Another really good tip for everyone watching. Always, see, I told you I was going to do that. He just flipped the breaker because he didn't listen. He was stubborn. Flip the switch.
Here.
Because all these are still on. It's just the other one.
Another one.
Ta-da. We're back. The surge protector.
It's done.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's tacky. Okay, I think we're good. Base paint your cups, just like we did here, the same color as whatever glitter you're going to use. So that gives you a lot better coverage. So this is purple paint, pink paint, orange paint, yellow paint, gold paint. It's perfectly ombre underneath the glitter. And it just gives you amazing coverage. We have a big jet heater, and I asked him to plug it in, but he refused because he's taking photos and using that power source. So he didn't want to do it, but it's okay. All right, so now we're going to do the Tacket method on this. So here we go. I'm going to stand up and point y'all down because it's, oh, I might not have to stand up, but I'm going to point y'all down. It's kind of messy, and I'm going to have to reuse the glitter a tons of times because it sticks to the cup. But the cool part is when you rub it off, you virtually use no glitter. So I'm starting off with like a quarter of one and then a whole one of the other, and you'll see how little bit I use. So I'm going to start on the bottom and just tap it on there. I hope y'all can see that. And I like to cover the whole cup before I start rubbing it in. I talk like I've done this a million times. I haven't. Last night was the first time I did it. But I liked just covering the whole thing first. This is a microfine glitter. It's super duper fine. I'll just tap it off. Take it. And I'm going to put the excess back in my little drawer. And keep going. I need to go pick me out SVG from Vanessa's shop to put on this when I'm done. I haven't really seen what anybody puts on these when they are done with them. Oh, I can't see any comments. Can you read comments? Huh? What? Said what? Well, what's it saying? Alright. I'll tap it off again. I'm getting a little low. See how pretty that is? And I know it looks like right now I'm using all this glitter, but when you rub it, it literally all falls off almost. It's kind of freaky.
No, it's not.
Our dog's being crazy. Almost done, guys. I'm going to scroll up the comments as soon as I can see them, and I'll read your questions. So just give me just a second. I think about one or two more, and I'll be good. Huh? Oh, do they have them? They do?
Well, to get on what was I going to do? Sorry.
I was going to ask you to read comments.
No.
I'm going to double check I got my rim really good. I think I do.
Gracie said that your site is beautiful. I think I just found my new dealer.
Oh, thank you, Gracie.
We take really good pride in things.
I worked so hard on that website.
And we are working on rephotographing the ones that need to be updated.
Yeah, you can kind of see when we first started. We tried to like photograph our glitters on black paper and be different, but it didn't show it off as good as we originally thought it did. So we switched back to our original method on the white paper. We got better equipment. We have hundreds that we need to rephotograph.
And we have our 1 year big event next month.
Yep.
That's coming up too.
All right, so I think I got pretty much everything covered. So, and how's the fun part? You just rub it in. And this glitter is so fine, it just kind of stays on there, and then I brush it off. Sorry guys, when I get concentrated, I get quiet. I'll talk again in just a minute. My brain can't do two things at once. You just want to make sure you get all of it rubbed, and it's kind of hard to tell once you start rubbing. You want to make sure you get all of it rubbed before you brush the extra off. That way you don't have any naked spots. But I think I'm good. Let's see, all the glitter on my hands. So I have this really delicate brush that I'm just going to brush all of the extra glitter off.
Make sure it's on the paper.
I'm trying.
All over the table.
But it goes everywhere.
There.
I hope, come over here. I hope y'all can see. Turn. It's kind of hard to explain what this looks like unless you've seen it in person or seen photographs of it, but it's a very subtle sparkle and it's really pretty. But it's very subtle, but there's a good, that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna tilt this back up so y'all can see. It's coated now from top to bottom in that microfine glitter, as you can see. Super sparkly. Super pretty. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean up my mess, and then I'm gonna clear coat it, because if you don't clear coat it, it will repel the epoxy. And it will actually repel your clear coat. It happened to me last night. But I learned that if you, see, I spilled tons of this and I still have a full container left. So don't let it freak you out how much you're using when you're putting it on there. And it's everywhere, so I probably wasted a lot. I'll be eating glitter for 3 days. But I'm gonna clear coat it with triple thick light coats. I made the mistake of last night trying to put one heavy coat on it, and when I did that, it literally just repelled and rolled all over the cup. So I'm gonna go outside really quick and spray a quick, very fine coat of triple thick on there. And then after that dries, we can put the chunky glitter on, which is the fun part. So, and that's when it really, really comes to life. So I'm gonna go run and put that on there really quick. I'll be right back in like, not even 2 minutes. I'll let Freddie talk to y'all while I'm gone. I'm gonna show, you can show them, because we have a lot more viewers now than we did earlier. You can show them the finished one. I'm gonna show them this one more time before I go out. So you can see, look how pretty that is. It's so satisfying. It's so beautiful in person, even more so than on the camera.
Thank you. Alright guys, so while he's gone, I'm going to show you guys the finished product that we're working on. So let me flip you guys down. So as you can see, don't mind our turner. Our turner's all beat up. But you can still see how the colored paint underneath comes through. And did you use Fafsa on this one?
No.
No, this is regular epoxy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It should still be really tacky.
yeah, it's really tacky still.
You touched it?
Yeah, I did. Whoops. Normally we always use Fafsa, but I forget. You can't really use that on
Louis,
white.
Get back. Get back, Louie.
All right. Let me flip you guys up.
I think that should be enough.
What?
That really quick coat.
That coat. All right.
All right, so I clear coated it. It should be dry in like just a couple minutes, and we'll epoxy it. Hey, will you actually come hold this for just a sec? Thank you. I'm gonna move this one to the other turner.
Is that your blood? No, that's just paint.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Chunked up.
Oh,
I'll save it. Were you cleaning up?
no.
Oh, did I do
Not
that?
even opened.
Jesus,
Oh
help
my
me.
gosh.
I'm trying to put it in a closed container, guys. What's the chunky glitter? It's Illumination. Green buckets. Do you store your glitters or orders? That's like our little inventory buckets.
What?
The green buckets behind
Oh,
me.
in the background? Yes, that's where we keep
That's where we keep all our stock. Can you get out of my lap?
And we have understuff.
Okay, sorry. This should dry really quick. It was a thin layer.
What is up with him today? What is up with you?
Yeah, that's already dry. Is the glitter coming off? Will you put one more really thin layer on there for me?
What?
On the bottom?
On the bottom?
Well, on the whole thing, but...
Where's the nut?
I mean, you could do it right there. Won't bother me. What are you eating? Do y'all have any questions while I wait for that to dry? Oh, thank you, Gracie. He's a hot mess. He's a 8-month-old Labradoodle. Did you do the whole thing?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. I just do it.
Promise.
Yes. No, I'm just lying.
Well, you like to do that sometimes.
Me? I never lie.
Mm-hmm.
Not to my cousin.
Oh, welcome, Jamie. Microfine white that you rubbed off. That is Vivacious. It's not on our website yet. It was in one of our crates that we released, and it's the people who buy that crate get exclusive access to it for a month, and we are getting ready to release it either tonight or tomorrow. So it'll be on the website. It's an epoxy additive. I really didn't design it to do what I've been doing with it, but it works great, and it's so beautiful. This spray you're using, what is it called? This is my favorite clear coat. A lot of people use the 2X clear coat, but I thought that I don't like it because it's really thin and runs. This is triple thick. With one layer, you get 3 times what you get with a normal spray paint or clear coat, and I love it. It works amazing. The only thing you have to get used to, which some clear coats do and some don't, but this one hazes over. So when you spray something, it makes it look really hazy, and it'll freak you out if you're not used to it. But when you add your epoxy back on top of it, it gets rid of it. It disappears. Yes, Shauna, the Vivacious was in the New Year's crate. So if you got the crate, you should have it. How long should a cup spin to dry each coat? It depends on your epoxy, and also it depends on your space. So if you have a colder space or a more humid space, it might take longer. If you're using a regular epoxy, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. If you're using fast set, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. We are on... Vanessa asked, she said she knows we're on a crate hiatus right now, but are we going to bring them back? We are going to bring them back.
Yes, we are.
I'm
actually working on them.
Freddie's working on the next one, but we're not going to do the last 2 that we did. The Christmas and the New Year's were both $150. Those were big crates. We're not going to be doing, those were like special things. So we're not always going to have a $150 crate. I think it's going to be around,
We had it listed for 80.
I think we have it for $80, and it's going to be, they're going to be, did we say, is it going to be a subscription?
Yes.
It's going to be a subscription, and you can subscribe to it, and they'll go out like that. But we're working on all that. We have the software purchase to do it. It's just a lot to get back started, and with everything that we're doing, especially with planning for the expo, we just haven't got a chance to do it, but they are going to come back. But they're not going to be as big as the last 2 crates you got, Vanessa.
But since they're also on vacation over there, we've been waiting.
Yeah, and our suppliers have been on hiatus too, so it's kind of hard. Nisha, the crates that I'm talking about, we used to sell them as pre-orders, and people would order them, and we would get everything coming, and we would compile these really pretty crates, and we put, depending on which crate it was, you got a free gift, or you got all kinds of extras, not just glitter. The last 2 we did, we included different types of tumblers. For Christmas, we did a coffee mug, and for the last crate, we did a like a doozy. It can be a tumbler or a can koozie, and glitter and mica and all kinds of stuff. So, and the last one we put in Quick Coat, which we got from Counterculture. We purchased that from Counterculture, put that in there. All kinds of stuff. They're like special subscription boxes, but they weren't ever subscriptions. But now it's going to be a subscription when we bring them back. But when we bring them back, we're going to make sure we are ready to go with it. So that's why it's just taking us a little bit longer. First time viewer from California. Oh, nice to have you. This is our first live in this group. I'm going to need to go live in here more. Everybody's so nice. Crates are the bomb. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, this is dry. It's ready for epoxy. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy. I'm going to use just regular Counterculture Artist Resin. I'm not going to use Fast Set because I'm still working through my original Fast Set, and it's a little bit more yellow than I want to use. I have tons of the new Fast Set. I just haven't opened it yet, and I'm not going to open it. So I'm going to mix like 5 mils of epoxy. Just a little bit. I know. I hear sirens. We never hear sirens. We live in a little small town, y'all. So when we hear sirens, it's like, what's going on? And if you hear a whole bunch of ruckus back there, that's our dog acting a fool.
Crazy.
What glitters are you using? They're all from our company, Childs & Childs. The website's pinned. The chunky is Illumination, and I'm going to use, this is the chunky. It's Illumination. And I'm going to use a white vine on the bottom and the top. That's called Euphoria. And the one I used on the Tacket part was Vivacious, which is not released yet. It's brand new. Aw, thank you, Nisha. She said our website is mind-blowing. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you look at our featured artist, Vanessa Davis is on there.
She sure is.
I mixed more than 5 on accident, but that should be about right. Do I put our epoxy in pour bottles? I do. We put them in, here's like the best little hack ever. They're Dollar Tree bottles. You get 2 for $1, and they work great. Put all our stuff, paints, all kinds of stuff in there. And I don't use the FIFO bottles because I don't want them to leak. And the whole point of a FIFO bottle is for them to be able to be first in, first out, and not have to be turned upside down. So I'm not going to buy a $12 bottle that won't work for what it's designed to do. Because like if you go to Subway and all the condiments that they have, those are FIFO bottles, and they pull them up and squirt them, and then they put it right back down. That's the point, because you want the oldest stuff to be used first. And epoxy doesn't really work very well in FIFO bottles, or at least you have to have the right tip. Oh, got an itch. And I don't want to spend the money and them not work correctly. I think all you have to do is put the right kind of mouth on it, or the right kind of head or lid, whatever the right word would be. But the little Dollar Tree bottles work great, and they're literally 50 cents a bottle. So that's what we've used from the beginning, and you can go buy them. You can buy like a ton of them. Oh, Vanessa, you're so sweet. Vanessa, she said that she's one of our fans. Y'all have no idea. I still think it's weird people look up to Freddie and I, and like we have this following, and like I'm looking up to you and Susanna and all these other people. Do you cap them? Yes, they have a little cap on there. And if I do like a part 2 where I epoxy it, I posted a TikTok earlier today of me epoxying this cup. If y'all ever watch live, I'll do more lives in here, I promise, if you guys want me to. I don't take a whole lot of time mixing epoxy. I don't baby anything, because I figured out, just with my experience, the more I babied something, the more problems I had with it. So I mix my epoxy like birthday cake batter. And I have a big torch. And I highly recommend everybody who works with cups to get this torch. It's the TS4000. It's a game changer, and it will change your life with popping bubbles. So I don't worry about bubbles ever anymore because of that torch. And I just mix it till it's clear, and I put it on. So it's clear. I'm gonna get my glove. And we're gonna epoxy it. And then we're gonna glitter it. Is that a cat I hear?
Sounds like a wolf.
Oh, it does. Maybe it's a coyote. That's scary. All right, I'm gonna take this off the turner. And the key to an epoxy method, especially when you're working with fine glitters, is very little. You only need the tiniest little bit to cover your cup. And I'm gonna be kind of delicate because I didn't put a super thick layer of triple thick on, and I don't want to mess up my glitter. No mask or ventilator. I recommend you guys use one, but I don't. We're in a really well ventilated area, and I probably should be wearing one, but I don't. I wear gloves, but that's about it. When we have our expo, everybody's gonna have a mask. Huh? I'm just trying to be delicate because we didn't put much clear coat on it. But you really want it very, very thin. You don't want it anywhere near like when you're trying to cover glitter. Just very, very thin. Chunky glitter repellent. You mean repelling the epoxy? You need to seal it. Glitter will repel epoxy. Just like this ultrafine, I had to seal it before I'm moved to this step because I want it to stick good. So, hi Pam, Pam Childs. She said she came across this, she had to watch. We have the same last name. That is too funny. Yes, you can coat it with quick coat if you want to, or triple thick. I'm very stingy with my quick coat because of how expensive it is. So I don't ever really seal glitter with it. But I do seal all of my vinyls with it. And typically when I do the epoxy method, just on a painted tumbler, I go to town on it. I'm just being a little bit more delicate with this, with the Tacket method, because I don't want to mess my glitter up. I smudged some paint on here, but I'll cover that up with glitter. But see how thin that is? It's like, even if I wanted to just hang dry this, I could. It's not going to run off. But I'm running my finger from top to bottom, making sure that everything is covered. I don't want any dry spots. It does work really well with chunkies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit more in the middle than the outside, because that's where my chunkies go in, is in the middle, and I can have it a little bit more thick there. But I'm still going to spread it pretty thin. But when you work with chunkies, you can use a little bit more epoxy and it will help it lay flat. But I used parchment paper to make my glitter lay down on the first one. All right, so I'm gonna, we can pull this like, oh no, you're doing something. When we first started making tumblers, we used to tease each other because we helped each other so much, and I always told people I don't know how they make cups by themselves because we rely on each other too much. So for you guys who make cups by yourselves, more power to y'all. Because I'm always like, can you do this? Can you grab that? Can you hold this? Can you do this? And he's probably like, will you leave me alone? He's photographing the new glitter that's going to go live. All right, so I got that epoxy. Now is the fun part. We're going to glitter it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the turner. And I usually like to, let me scooch it off. Got a little too far down. I usually like to hand turn my stuff when I glitter it, but for the live, I'm gonna do it on the turner. That way I can make sure you guys see it well. But let me grab a piece of paper to go underneath. All right, here we go. I'll move y'all closer so you can see it. We're gonna start with Illumination right in the middle. Let's set y'all up higher so you can see better the whole cup. Excuse my messy craft space. If you have a way of keeping a craft space nice and neat, I would love to know your secret. Because no matter how hard I try, it always turns into a wreck. Alrighty. If you are commenting and I don't answer, it's because I can't see, but I will answer them in just a minute. Alright, so I'm going to start with Illumination. Can you guys see good? I usually always go live horizontal too. I don't know why I did that vertical tonight. Can y'all see good? Somebody let me know.
I can try for you. Let me see.
Vivacious is going to be live soon. All right, I'm going to get started. So I'm just going to sprinkle. I'm going to shake it good. I always shake my chunky glitters to make sure I have good coverage and all my microfines and ultrafines aren't settled to the bottom. And I'm just going to start right in the middle. And work my way around. And you can do this as little. What? For the Tacket Method, please. Vivacious. I don't know if y'all can see it while I'm live, but in the description when the video's over, I have all the glitters named. You can add as little or as much of this chunky as you want. I kind of like a lot, as you can see. And then towards the top, you just kind of ombre it. Just less the further out you go. And that's pretty much it for that part. So, I kind of like that, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, so I like that. I'm gonna take my leftover glitter and save it. And I'll show you really quick the what this next step I'm gonna do, like the difference it makes, because when I saw the original person do this, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But I think it really made a prettier cut. So I'm gonna see if I can show y'all. So this is the cut without the white glitter that I'm gonna add on the bottom, and then this is it with the white glitter on the bottom. So it does really give it a pretty effect. But to do that, I'm gonna have to take it off and ombre it by hand. And I'll show you one. So I'm gonna set you guys back down here and lift y'all back up. It's a 32 ounce Hydro Fit from Steel Magnolias. All right, so I'm gonna take this off really quick. And the next glitter I'm gonna use is Euphoria, which is a white fine. It's still a mix though, it's not one cut size. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover the bottom and it's gonna ombre. And I was worried when I originally watched the tutorial. I was like, that's gonna take away all of the prettiness of the Tacket Method, which I worked so hard to do, and it's just going to make it look weird. But it doesn't, I promise. So this little step right here, even though when you see this, you're going to be like, I don't want to put another thing on here. Trust me, it makes a big difference. But it needs to be Euphoria or something similar. It's a pearl glitter, and it's really pretty. So I'm going to cover the bottom. And Frederick, you asked earlier how I do the bottoms. This is it. I do it tilted. Let me make sure. Can y'all see this good? It's a really pearl glitter. It's super pretty. So now I'm just going to go right on the edge. That's the only part that I'm going to put it on directly. You see that? Just that little bitty edge right there. And I'm going to turn. And I'm going to turn. And then I'm going to turn it. All right. So now I'm going to cover that same part that I just glittered. I'm going to tilt it at about a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to put the glitter right on top of what I just glittered. And it's going to ombre itself down. Can you see that? It just ombres right down perfectly. But just right on that rim. Y'all see where I'm pouring it? And it just falls right down effortlessly. If you're ombre in cups, this is the way to do it. And you just kind of go as little or as much as you want. Okay, so that's it. See how you can still see the Tacket Method underneath it where it's ombre? It's really pretty. I'm sorry. So I'm going to do the same thing to the top of the cup. Same exact process. I'm going to go right on the edge. Not tilting it yet. I'm going to tilt it after I get the edge glittered. All right, so I got the edge glittered. See how it's just a solid line right there? Now I'm going to tilt it, and I'm going to pour it right on top of what I just glittered. And I kind of hold the glitter far away. And that's it. So that is it, guys. That is the whole cup. Now, if you want to add more to the middle or different glitters or whatever you want to do, you can add more or less. But that's it. Whole cup's glittered. That's the Euphoria. It's a really pretty pearl white. And it ombres down into the Tacket and Illumination. And it's really pretty. And it's really easy. Can you believe we did this whole cup in one live? Now all you have to do is let this epoxy dry. And you can come back with the parchment paper or freezer paper and flatten out your glitter. Clear coat it, and you can epoxy right over it. I did the other one that's epoxied last night at like 1 a.m. And I epoxied it today. And the next step is it's going to need a name and then another layer or two of epoxy, and it's done. So that's it. We did this whole cup in one live. Isn't it pretty? And it's a lot of fun. And you can do so many different things. You can change the colors. I've been thinking about doing different colors. You can do a black version of it. There's all kinds of different things you can do. See that Tacket? Ooh, you can still see the Tacket underneath the white. Will you have a replay? I will post this so you guys can rewatch it from start to finish. I'm glad I was able to get the whole thing done. Only thing I'm not going to be able to do is epoxy it because it's still wet. But, oh my gosh. Louis, stop. He wants attention. He probably wants to go outside. But this is it. That was it, guys. So much fun. I'm so glad I went live. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at any time. We're always available to help or answer questions. Thank you, Linda. When will Euphoria be back in stock? Do we have any to upload or no? We may have some, so I might put it up, but I'm not 100% sure.
What cut size?
Bring it here. Yep, we have some. We need to bag it and upload it.
We'll upload it tonight.
I'm glad you found us too, Pam. We have a group for our glitter. If you guys go to our website, there, I think I may have taken it off. I don't know. I think there's a link to our page. It's Childs and Childs. If you look us up on Facebook, we have a page and a group where we answer questions and do tutorials, but it's a little bit more specific to our glitter. But I'm so glad I went live in here tonight and did a little tutorial. It was a lot of fun. And I'm going to do more, I promise. You guys were awesome. It was really fun to chit-chat and help and talk to you guys. So if you ever have any questions, let us know. I believe there is a coupon code for the group. I don't know. I think it may be Tutors. So just type Tutors in if you're buying.
So, yeah.
Use the code Tutors if you go buy. I saw a couple orders come in when I was live. And if y'all are... Let me know if you ordered and you're from the Tumbler Tutors group, and I'll make sure you get your discount.
And I'm really nice. I pack all the orders here, so if you're a first-time buyer,
we give lots of goodies.
Yep. So I'll throw in some goodies for you.
If you are a frequent order of us, you always get just about, not every single time, but a lot of times we give out extra stuff, happies. We partner a lot with Counterculture, so you might see certain Counterculture things in your order. We love to give back, we love to teach, and we love to answer questions and just help. So if y'all need anything, let us know, and I will look forward to talking to y'all soon. I know Freddie will as well. Maybe next time Freddie can show you guys how to do a swirl cup. I know a lot of people wanted to see a while back when we did the 12 Days of Christmas thing. I asked if anyone wanted to see the leopard cup that I did with the Crackle or the Faith cup, and everybody was like, both. I promise I will do a tutorial on both of those at some point in time. Oh my gosh, this maniac. Come here. You want to say hey? Come on. He's starving for attention. He's our big baby. I know it. But we will definitely be back and do more lives. It was so much fun. You got anything to add?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all excited to be here.
Nisha, the group is Childs and Childs Luster Glitter Studio Crafting Community. So if you look up Childs and Childs, I think it's Facebook.com/groups/Childs and Childs. I'll put the link in the description of this video when we upload it. That way you guys can come find us if that's okay with the admins. But it was a blast. Thank you guys. We're always happy to help. Even if it's not involving our glitter, we love to help regardless. So if you guys just have any questions about anything in particular about tumbler making, we've been doing it a long time, and we come from contribution. So the more we contribute to you guys, the more you guys, it comes back to us. So we love to help in any way that we can. It just makes our lives happier, and we just love it. So if you have anything, let us know, and we will see you guys soon, okay?
Bye, guys.
Bye.